What up with y'all, man? It's Mr. Zach, and I'm back with another one. Man, do me a favor. Y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Cut on all post notifications so y'all can get this content every time I drop a video. But breaking news, man. This is breaking news. The government shutdown is officially over. The funding bill is on Trump's desk. He is about to sign it. But first, man, we got the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, did a press conference, man, blasting the Democratic Party, man. They had the government and the American people hostage over subsidies of the Obamacare that they the ones that created it. Obama created it. Affordable Care Act wasn't so affordable. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats was still pushing to get health care for illegal immigrants over $1 trillion something, man. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's why health care is so damn high, because me and you as a tax-paying citizen, man, was funding this bull crap. But it's been a long 7 weeks. It's over with, man. Now the TSA agents can get paid. The federal workers can get paid. People can get their WIC, they SNAP benefits, man. It seems like everybody is going to have a good Thanksgiving, man. But look, y'all stop depending on the government, man, to take care of y'all. Get up, go to school, get your job, man, and don't be dependent on government. Government can't do everything for you, because when situations like this happen, it have you losing your mind. Thank God I got me a job, and I got a good job too. So let's look at Speaker Johnson, man, talk about all the terrible things that the Democratic Party tried to do, man. They tried to keep the American people hostage. Hakeem Jeffries probably over there crying. Chuck Schumer about to lose his position. And you got AOC, you got Mamdani, and what's his name? Chuck Schumer crying about the situation. They wanted to keep the government shut down because they was supposedly saying this is some so-called leverage. It's never a good thing, man, when you forcing people to possibly commit a crime, man, to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? But enough of me talking, man. Let's look at Speaker Johnson. Let's get it.
We stood together to get the job done. Absolutely no question in anybody's mind now that the Democrats were responsible for this. What happened? Millions of American families went without food on their table. You had millions of Americans stranded in airports with their flights canceled and delayed. You had troops and federal employees wondering where their next paycheck would come from. The Democrats openly admitted, many of them said it in their own words, that they used the American people as leverage in this political game. They knew that it would cause that pain to the people, and they did it anyway. They did it for their own selfish purposes, their political purposes, and it was a game they played with real people's lives. Man. It's something that is very difficult to forgive. I want to say that all this was utterly pointless and foolish. This outcome was totally foreseeable. I said that this would be the outcome when all this began back in mid-September. They did it anyway. Democrats admitted that they used the people as leverage, and they got nothing for their selfish political stunt here. They didn't achieve anything with this at all. And anyone who studied history would know that shutdowns never yield any positive result. It just hurts people. I said on the House floor a little while ago that we did all this in good faith. From the very beginning, I was insistent about this. Our leadership team was. The Republicans did the right thing. We had a nonpartisan continuing resolution. We didn't have any Republican priorities on it at all. We just said, in good faith, let's keep the lights on. Let's keep this going for another 7 weeks so that the Congress can do its work, so they can get back to the regular appropriations process, the way that it is supposed to be done for the people, so that we're good stewards with their money. That hasn't been done here in a long time. And we said we want to get back to that. Now, I'm pleased that tonight on the CR we had 3 appropriations bills that we'll send over to the President's desk in just a short amount of time tonight to get signed into law. That's an innovation too. As you all know, it's been years since Congress actually did separate appropriations bills. I'm proud of that achievement, but I'm really sad that it took us so long to get here. There was so much pain that had to be endured to get to this point.
Ridiculous too. It was uncalled for. Chuck Schumer trying to keep his position. He got AOC on his butt. You know what I'm saying? We got all these crazy leftist extremists trying to change government, and it ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? American people are resilient. We seen what was going on. The Democrats kept trying to come out talking about this a Trump shutdown and all this, and we already knew it was a Schumer shutdown. Schumer got chewed out the last time he agreed on opening the government, whatever that was, whatever they talking about, they chewed him out over that. So he had to show some kind of fight at the expense of American people. They didn't care if people couldn't get nothing to eat or kids were starving or whatever the case may be. It couldn't get your paycheck, but they damn sure was keeping their paycheck. They wasn't finna let go of their paycheck. They didn't give a damn. But, you know, they on the wrong side of history with this one. So, man, thank God that we had a few modest Democrats go ahead and sign and come over across the aisle, man, and care about your constituents, because the people that was voting no 15 times, I would be up there just protesting them and however you do them, you impeach them. I don't know how you do it. Recall them, get them up out of the system, because they were selfish. They were selfish and kept blaming Trump and blaming the Republicans. And the Republicans signed that thing 15 times. 15. You know what I'm saying? And the Democrats kept coming back saying 15 times that they wasn't finna do anything. They want subsidies. You know what I'm saying? For Obamacare. That didn't work. That don't work. Why would we have to subsidize something if they saying it's affordable for American people? That's because it's a big lie, man. They need to get rid of that Obamacare and let people be able to get their own insurance. Stop trying to prop up these insurance companies, these selected few insurance companies, and giving them all the money. We know how to make a choice on what doctors we want and whatever plan we want. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, let's get back to Mike Johnson.
Voters are going to remember which political party played games with their lives.
Man.
They're going to remember that they did this for their own selfish purposes so that they could look tough to the radical elements of their base, and real people suffered because of that game. So now that we've got the lights back on, we've got the government reopened, the president will sign that triumphantly tonight, and Republicans will get right back to the work that we promised the American people that we will do. We're going to deliver for the American people, as we have been doing. And I'll leave you with this thought. There's a split screen in America right now. There's a split screen. On one side of the screen, you have President Trump and the Republican majorities in the Congress and the Senate and the House doing the work for the American people. Look what we've achieved in the first 10 months of this year. You can make an argument that it's the most productive season for a new Congress and a new presidency, a new administration, at least in the modern era, maybe of all time. Just in this short amount of months, we got the border secured. We fulfilled that promise. We are working on the crime crisis around the country. We have new trade agreements. We have a return to American energy dominance. We have cut taxes, the largest tax cut in U.S. history in a literal sense. We're cutting regulations. We're ending fraud, waste, and abuse out of government. We're shoring up the safety net programs like Medicaid so that it's there for the people that desperately need it, and it is not being abused by illegal aliens and by young able-bodied men who are not eligible to receive that. We are doing all this good work. The president, meanwhile, is using his authority to change the world, literally. He has ended 8 wars around the globe. All of this is happening on the Republican side and so much more. That's on one side of the screen, and on the other is the Democrat Party. And what have they done? What do they have to show for the last 10 months of government here?
Nothing. A bunch of chaos. Fear-mongering. You know what I'm saying? Nothing good. Nothing good, because they don't have nothing. They ain't got no answers for nothing. All they doing is trying to show fear or give the American people or make the American people scared. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even with the media, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to say nothing that's positive that Trump and his administration is doing. CNN, MSDNC, they got me saying MSDNC now. ABC, all these news outlets, man, is just constantly hating on Trump. Trump this, Trump that. You would think in America, if a president or an administration is doing something positive for the American people, they will put their differences aside and say, hey, man, you know what? Trump is doing this. He bringing trillions of dollars of investment in. The border is closed. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's cleaning it up. And the Democratic Party, man, they cannot stand it. They want to be the ones who try to clean up America, but they ain't with the policies that they trying to bring, man. All this woke stuff, man, ain't nobody feeling that. Ain't nobody feeling that. Boys and men and girls bathrooms and locker rooms and sex changes for illegal, like it's just all kind of crazy, weird stuff. Just imagine, man, if Kamala Harris would have won. You think 8 wars would have been solved? Hell no. It would have been terror. Everything would have just been going crazy. But, you know, the Democratic Party can't take winning. They want everybody to depend on the government and to lose. They can just shut off the machine when they want to and have everybody scrambling. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy. Man.
They shut the government down. They voted 15 times to close the government and exact that pain on everyone. We can never forget that. They haven't achieved anything beyond that except pushing ICE officers around and really spurring on political violence.
That's another thing. They messing with ICE. ICE is Immigration Custom Enforcement. They're like law. I ain't gonna say like, they are law enforcement. You don't see them people out here messing with the regular police and sheriffs. And that's just a damn shame that the sheriffs got their hands tied where they can't even help. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. All this political violence going on, and you got people winning elections that want to see their opponents shot and all. It just is just crazy times we living in. It's ridiculous, but I get it. You got these extremist groups, man, who don't want to see America win. And that's another crazy thing right there too. Like, you in the country that helped you get to where you at, and then you want to go against the damn country that you living in. If you don't like this damn country, get your ass out and go to them countries where the policies that you want to push. Go over there and see how that life is, and then come back and talk, and come back and then say something about it. But until then, this is a capitalistic society, America. We are capitalists. The more money you make, the more better off you are. You know what I'm saying? The more money you make, the more better off you are, and you're able to help people. But you can't just force somebody to help a person if they don't want to help them. Just like in New York, you got Mandani, whatever the damn name is, want to tax the billionaires and the rich, knowing those are the people who are funding New York. You want to tax them another 2%. I wouldn't want to do. If I was a billionaire, a millionaire out there, I'm already doing enough. And you talk about raising taxes, I'm up out of there. And just to say this, anybody out there in New York, man, look, they telling you, if you make $1 million, if you making money for yourself, they finna come after you. You already got Mandani talking about if the landlords don't fix nothing, how they gonna be able to fix nothing if you freezing the rents? That's just basic math right there. You get into real estate and to rent apartments and be able to save money to fix the building when things happen. But if they can't fix nothing and they talking about we gonna go in there and fix it and give them the bill, and they ain't gonna be able to, there's gonna be penalties and all kind of stuff. If the landlords and the owners can't afford that, they talking about taking the building over, seizing the means of production. That's like communism right there. They gonna go and take your building that you done worked hard for And they want to tell you that you can't charge nobody higher rent or whatever it is, but they gonna come take your building. That's ridiculous. So anybody out there, these rappers, anybody out here flashing all that money in New York, you better stop flashing your money because they gonna come after it. Just watch. Let's keep going.
So I want to say that there's a reason the Democrats are in disarray right now. There's a reason they don't have an identified leader of their party. There's a reason that their favorability, even amongst those in their own party, is at lowest of all time. They don't have a platform, a principle they can defend. They don't have a leader, except for Mamdani, who's the new mayor of New York City and leading the party into Marxism and socialism. I think everybody should consider that split screen. I think you should look at it truthfully and honestly and objectively. And I think you can evaluate for yourself which party's working for the people. We're anxious to get that done, to work on health care and affordability and all the issues, to continue doing what we've done. And we look forward to rolling that out for you in the next several days. A few questions.
We don't get to the question part. Let me switch this over here. But yeah, man, it's ridiculous, man. You got these lower court circuit judges, federal judges is trying to block everything that Trump and his administration is doing. Just recently, they talking about releasing a bunch of illegal immigrants that was arrested, you know what I'm saying, and about to be deported, talking about it wasn't no due process or he got approved, they committed a crime. The crime they committed was crossing the border illegally. I don't understand why people don't understand that, why they keep on saying these people don't have criminal records. They might not have no criminal records that they did out here, but it was criminal when they crossed the border, when they broke into the country. You know what I'm saying? That's number one right there. So if they are detained, obviously it's a reason why they detained. You know, they keep talking about you got to have a warrant and all this and that. So if somebody was out here in the streets that needed help from the police or law enforcement and they call the police, what the police going to come and say, wait a minute, we need a warrant to come help you? No. The law of the land is if you cross the border illegally, it's criminal. You broke the law. Point blank, period. It's just crazy. But, man, let's get into Donald Trump, man. He's about to sign these documents and officially reopen the government. And, man, look, it's time to eat. Y'all got to stop depending on the government, man. For real. You got to stop depending on some of these guys and some of these females out here that's able-bodied. They just so used to getting a GR check or this and, like, stuff being handed to them. You got to get over that, man. It's time to get yourself together, man, and stop depending on big government to help you. Because this should be a learning lesson for everybody. The government can be shut off, especially by a party who feel like they don't get their way, and they know they need these votes to continue passing different legislation and funding bills and all this. And if they don't get their way, they gonna just walk out and say, I ain't signing nothing. And then have the American people high and dry out there trying to figure out what they gonna do next to feed their family or wherever they gonna get their paychecks from. It's just ridiculous. But let's get into Trump, man.
For the past 43 days, Democrats in Congress shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens and people that came into our country illegally, from gangs, from prisons, from mental institutions. They wanted to pay them $1.5 trillion,
Damn.
which would have really hurt our healthcare businesses and our recipients at levels never seen before. Today, we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was.
Man.
They tried to extort. The Democrats tried to extort our country. In just a moment, I'll sign a bill exactly like we asked Democrats to send us all along, many days ago. This cost the country $1.5 trillion, this little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation of funding. There's never been a time when one or the other party ever didn't sign a continuation. It's just a continuation, not a big deal. It's a continuation, and we'll talk later. Yet the extremists in the other party insisted on creating the longest government shutdown in American history, and they did it purely for political reasons. I want to thank Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and numerous other great Republican leaders and congressmen and senators who are here, who frankly spent a long time in Washington getting this thing to go away. I also want to thank the broad coalition of Americans that stood with us in this fight to reopen government, including the Teamsters, the American Federation of Government Employees, the Fraternal Order of Police, AMVETS, the National Small Business Association, the American Farm Bureau, the American Trucking Association. These are all incredible patriots. Airlines for America, the Allied Pilots Association, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and many others, unions and non-unions. Over the past 7 weeks, the Democrats' shutdown has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed. They departed so many times, so late. People were hurt so badly.
That's a lot of flights, 20,000 flights, man.
Nobody's ever seen anything like this one. This was a no-brainer. This was an easy extension. But they didn't want to do it the easy way. They had to do it the hard way. And they look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions and millions more Americans in need. They caused tens of thousands of federal contractors and small businesses to go unpaid. And the total effect of the damage their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to call for...
Yeah, don't forget that, man. Midterms is coming up, and of course, you're going to have the radicals and people, you know, voting and doing what they do and don't think about, you know, what happened. But if you got common sense, man, look, you can't vote. You can't vote for people who don't really have your best interests. I'm talking about American people, man. These people they don't have your best interests. So remember this. Is a bad look on them Democrats, man.
For a termination to the filibuster so that this can never happen again. If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again. And don't forget, we have another date coming up in the not too distant future. We can never let this happen again. And we should be able to pass really great legislation. So I say terminate the filibuster because, by the way, the Democrats will do it immediately if they ever assumed office, which hopefully they won't. Today we had the highest stock market price ever in all of the different markets. We set a record. It's the 48th time in the 9 months that I've been in office that we had this record set. So think of that, 48 times we had a record set, but today is the highest of them all. We're going to break new grounds. Nobody would have thought. I have with us not only the great political leaders, but the great business leaders of our country. They're standing right behind me and right really alongside of me. And if we would have told them a year ago that we'd be having stock prices this high, none of them, in fact, I just asked them that question, none of them would have believed it. And that inures to jobs and, very importantly, to 401ks, which have also set a record today, a record high for the people that have 401ks.
And you ain't gonna hear that. You ain't gonna hear this information that Trump is giving us right now through the legacy media. They're not gonna report on none of this stuff. They're gonna keep on saying Orange Man bad, the country is failing, and all the different sob stories and the fear mongering. You ain't gonna hear none of this good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna hear it. Listen up.
And also, I want to thank Walmart because they came up with a fantastic study. It was the cost of Thanksgiving coming up and the cost of Thanksgiving from a year ago under Sleepy Joe Biden. And we're 25% lower this year than we were a year ago. And it's a very inclusive report. So I want to thank Walmart. They've done it for many years, but we believe in that, and we believe in that company. I want to also thank the 8 Senate Democrats who finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness, this madness. But unfortunately, the vast majority of congressional Democrats were happy for millions of Americans to suffer. They really did suffer, too. And the Democrats admitted, they said, well, no, we finally have a point. Even though people have to suffer, we finally have a point. And that didn't work out too well for them. But they really went out and they could appease the fringe benefits of their far-left base. But that didn't work out because now their far-left base is angrier than ever before. We actually elected a mayor of New York City who happens to be a communist. When was that going to happen? Remember, I said all the time during my campaign, we will never be a socialist country. And that's right. We turned out to have a communist in New York City. And if you look at his views, those are the views of a communist, not a socialist. So this is no way to run a country. I hope we can all agree that the government should never be shut down again. End the filibuster, terminate the filibuster. It'll never happen again.
Get rid of the
filibuster. So with my signature, the federal government will now resume normal operations, and my administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again for all Americans. Again, costs are way down. Energy is way down. Gasoline is at $2.50 a gallon.
Yeah, gas is down. I'm in California, and it used to be almost $6, $7. Now it's like the average I see is about $4.39, $4.60. I mean, that's good compared to what it was. So I don't know what Hakeem Jeffries keep talking about. Yeah, the prices is up. Everything is bad. Everything is up. It's high cost in America and this and that, this and that. Man, shut up, Hakeem. Tired of you. What they call you, the Walmart Obama or the Dollar General Obama? Shut up, Hakeem. Worry about your damn party and come up with some solutions instead of always coming with these damn problems. Man, and I'm going to use y'all word. Period, full stop. You hear that from them all the time. Just shut up, Hakeem. Damn.
Versus $4.70 for the Democrats. And we think we're going to hit pretty close to $2 a gallon. That's like a really massive tax cut. It's the equivalent of that. And speaking of tax cuts, our great, big, beautiful bill is giving everybody in our economy, middle income workers, low income, everybody, the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And it's no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and very importantly, no tax on overtime. You work overtime, there's no tax. That's among the things that add up to the biggest tax cut in history. And one other thing, you hear about rich people with deductions. Well, when you buy your car and you borrow money, you're allowed to now deduct the interest on that loan. So you can take that interest deduction and what you can take is that interest payment and deduct it for income tax purposes. That's a tremendous tax cut right there. But it all includes fixing the healthcare system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one. It's done nothing but go up. And if you remember President Barack Hussein Obama, when he came up with this crazy idea, he said everything's going to be great. Rates are going to go down. Payments are going to go down. Everything's going to go down. It went the exact opposite. The biggest increase of healthcare in any country.
And then you got the Democrats keep talking about it's broken. Yeah, we know it's broken. And they want to try to, no, you're not fixing it. It's broke. Stop blaming the healthcare crisis on Republicans. Y'all started this healthcare crisis. Obamacare. Ain't it named after a Democrat? Come on, man. The American people are not stupid.
A disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars.
Exactly. They done got so much. They done got so rich. This is a good thing. The more places that we can go to get health care, that'll lower the cost, because it's going to be a lot of competition. Competition brings down the cost of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
You know, their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance, and you'll negotiate different plans, and you'll get much better insurance, and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself.
There you go.
So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with health care. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape. We went through this short-term disaster with the Democrats because they thought it would be good politically. And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Let's go. Let's sign it. Man. Government in the country is back open. There it is, y'all. There it is. Back.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you have questions. I think
Watch, the first question gonna be asking about some damn Epstein files. That's ridiculous, boy. They always trying to change the narrative. This ain't got, man, look, let me tell y'all something. We ain't even finna go to the questions. If y'all want to watch the rest of this, man, y'all go to Fox News, the Raw. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go look at the rest. Y'all want him answering questions, we'll see all that later. But we finna talk about something right now. Hold up. Now, with this Epstein thing, they had some emails and all this and that, whatever. They released over 23,000 more files or whatever it was. Honestly, y'all honest opinion, man. This is what I'm going to say. If they had something on Trump, this is when Obama and Biden them was in office. If they had, and they knew that Trump was about to run, they had access to everything that the Trump administration have access to. If Trump was involved in Epstein, whatever the terrible things Epstein was involved in, don't you think they would already been released it? Trump wouldn't even be president right now because it'd be such a big scandal. That's telling me right there that they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. Everybody know that he was friends with Epstein. A lot of people was friends with Epstein. But when Trump found out that he was a creep, he was trying to get him up out of there. Like, he wasn't trying to deal with that man like that. You know what I'm saying? If he was involved, and they really, the Democratic Party want him to be involved so bad, and it ain't happening. Like I said before, if he was involved in it, the information would have been out already. So y'all can miss me with that. It's over with. The Democratic Party is done. Now they bringing in the Democratic Socialist Communist Party. Now this is a perfect example of if the socialists get in and win the election and become presidents and all this other stuff. You see what happened already when they shut the government down. They took away everybody's SNAP benefits, WIC, and all these paychecks and federal worker paychecks and all this stuff. that's what communists, that's what they do. They believe in government. Government supposed to take care of everything, take care of your life, your family, everything. So this is a prime example why communism and socialism don't work. We're in a capitalistic society. America is capitalist. But just to go back to what I was saying, man, if Trump was in the Epstein files like that, did some dirty stuff, it'd already be out. You know, they hiding stuff. You know, we already know that allegedly Bill Clinton was, hey, I ain't gonna say, I'm just say Bill Clinton name. You have J.D. Pritzker, one of his uncles or somebody was caught doing something strange for a little piece of change. You got a lot of people, but Trump name, even the victims and certain people saying that Trump ain't did nothing, but they gonna keep on coming with it, and you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna never hear the end of it. But anyway, man, it's a great day for America. The government is back open, so now everybody can take a deep breath and breathe. I don't know how fast they're going to release them SNAP benefits and the WIC and all that, but soon you will still get it. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Everybody have a blessed Thanksgiving. And, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. If y'all happy about the situation, let me know, man. All right, so Mr. Zach, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all protect yourself at all times and keep your head on a swivel. God bless you. God bless me, man. And God bless America. The shutdown is over. And I'm out. Peace.